Jaya Jaya Guru Deve Arati Udvara Govardhana Pada Pite Bhuvana Mangala Bhakti Sundara Deva Prabhu Shiromani Goswami Govinda Jaya Anande Rakshani Rajanurambita Puja Divya-caritāmṛta Ananta Pratika Vara Divya-gunadhara Gora Krishna Jani Tava Adinaskarupa Uvarekani Rara Sagara Pandita
Sarahasya Mishta Bhashi Śrīla B.R
Sarahasya Mishta Bhashi Śrīla B.R
Bhajan bina gati nai re Rajavane Radha Krishna Bhajan bina gati nai re Rajavane Radha Krishna Charana Ravinda Jnana Karma Hari Hari Re Shudhara Karma Hari Hari Re Gaura Gadadhara Leita Guru Nityananda bhajan korvere rupa sanatane smaran jadi bhajan korvere
Vibhavari Shesha.
Next page.
Oh, is it the next page? Oh, very good. Was it always the next page, or just did it happen just now? Oh, happened just now. Magic.
Vibhavari Shesha
Aloka Pravesha.
Vibhavari Shesha Aloka Pravesha.
Vibhavari Shesha Aloka Pravesha Nidra Shari Uto Jiva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Vamana Shri Madhusūdana Rajendranandana Shama Bhutana Katana Kaitava Shatana Jaya Dasarati Rama Yashoda Judala Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purana Gopi Priya Jana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Bhara Ramana Kakara Matona Kakara Gopi Jana Vasrahari Rajera Rakala Gopa Vrindavana Śrīla Hari Bhakti Hari Yoginda Vandana Shri Nandanandana Rajajana Vayahari Navinani Radha Rupa Manohara Mohana Vamshi Vihari Yasodanandana Kamsarisudana Nikundara Savirati Galambakanana Rasaparayana Vrindavirina Nivasi Anandavardhana Premaniketana Purashara Jodavama Gopangana Gana Shika Vinodana Samasta Guna Jana Dana Yamuna Jivana Keriparayana Manasa Chandra Kahora Namasudara Saga Krishna Data Ratovachana Manamora Hari
Radha Giridhari Ju ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Govinda Govinda. So, morning reading from Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta and from Light in the Light of Loving Devotion. Maybe somebody could find the book.
The light.
So, on the top. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, Jai Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So we're all sitting in the corner of the room because I adjusted with the environment to sit with the devotees instead of having them sit far away. Govinda, Govinda. But it happens not only here, everywhere. And St. Petersburg is so big, they go all the way to the back. You need the loudspeaker just to reach to the back of the room. Hare Krishna. Not only St. Petersburg, sorry devotees if you're watching there, everywhere it happens. Somehow I say that the devotees are in the mode of goodness like cows are meant to be in the mode of goodness. If you put the cows in a field, you know, they all go to the edge of the field to try to take the grass on the other side. So the devotees in the mode of goodness like cows. And by the way, some devotees are in the mode of goodness like cows, crossing the street, like really not looking. Well, come on, you've got to look both ways. Oh, Krishna will protect. Okay. I can name one or two, but I won't. Hare Krishna. But mode of goodness, relying on the Lord's guardianship. Everything good? Oh, microphone. Am I meant to have a microphone? Okay, I have many microphones now. So we're reading from Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā, chapter number 11. Just see, we're going to try to read from Caitanya-caritāmṛta.
Maharaj, maybe you can say that we are doing the main program at 5 p.m.
Yes, everybody watching, if anyone's watching, please do come at 5 p.m. Here in the West London Temple, the program starts at 5 p.m. and then the Arati, there's Arati. In India, they tell me, I am not the authority, they say in India, midnight is at 7:30 p.m. London time. And so, the Arati, they're going to honor the Indian time of Krishna's appearance with Arati at 7:30 p.m. I do not know, offering and Arati at 7:30 p.m.
But that's here because of the...
Here, in West London, Mat, because we have some restriction for making noise after 9 p.m. So, that is here. And those who wish to celebrate at midnight, please come to 466 Green Street, London, whatever the postcode is.
13 9 dB.
Which 18?
E13 9 dB.
E13 9 dB. Okay. There the program shall go on until the early hours of the morning, no doubt, with all sorts of activities. All right. So 5 p.m. here, West London, Hatton Cross Temple, and, well, any time, I suppose, evening time in the East London Temple. They'll have a program running all the time. All right. So now, Caitanya-caritāmṛta, yes?
Yes.
Okay, now reading Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Hare Krishna. Okay. So what was happening? Lots of things happened since 24 hours ago. Describing about the branches of Nityananda Prabhu and about the devotees. And the last one was about Sri Gadadhar Das, who was always fully absorbed in ecstasy as a gopi. In his house, Lord Nityananda enacted the drama Dana Kali. Nothing is to be imitated. We hear all sorts of things of so-called Gaudiya Vaishnava sections who imitate. I'm going to choose to be something in Krishna Lila and then imitate that. Please don't even venture there to the slightest degree. All right. Why? Because Gurudev hated it. Guru Maharaj hated it. When we know our identity, when our identity is revealed, we know it is not imitation process. Okay, so I've just mentioned that because saying Gadadhar Das was always fully absorbed in ecstasy as a gopi. Keep these things on our head. All right. Now, Sri Madhava Ghosh was a principal performer of kirtan while he sang Nityananda Prabhu Das. Okay? So we're going to start here. These are the brothers, aren't they? Madhava Ghosh, Vasudeva Ghosh, and Gadadhar Ghosh. So we were mentioning what these three brothers yesterday. And the other brother, so this is also from yesterday, the other brother, when Vasudeva Ghosh, the third brother, performed kirtan describing Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, even wood and stone would melt upon hearing it. So this is where we came to yesterday. So those are brief descriptions of the eternal associates of Nityananda. In chapter 11 of Ādi-līlā, Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So Jai Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj ki Jai, Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Gurudev ki Jai, Śrīla Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, Śrī Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki Jai, and Jai Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai, who has given us Caitanya-caritāmṛta and purports. Next, so Ādi-līlā, chapter 11, verse 20, beginning today. Murari Chaitanya Dasira Alaukika Lila Vyagra Gale Chara Mare Sapa Sane Kela. There were many extraordinary activities performed by Murari, Alaukika Lila, performed by Murari, a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes in his ecstasy, he would slap the cheek of a tiger. I have to admit, I was wondering, I couldn't catch it from the Bengali. Vyagra Gale Chara Mare and Sapa Sane Kela. He would play with the snake, I think. But Sapa Sane. Okay, so there's a little extra here because it says venomous snake. It doesn't say anything. Okay, so in the purport, in the translation, which is kind of a very talky translation from Srila Prabhupada to keep us in the whole idea of what's happening. And Srila Prabhupada says, and sometimes in his ecstasy, he would slap the cheek of a tiger, and sometimes he would play with a venomous snake. It says, Sapa Sanikela, but there we are. Okay, as we said, not to imitate. If you want to imitate, and imitate this, and find out what happens if we do imitation. Okay. Nityanandera Ganajata Sababraja Sukha Shringa Vetra Gopa Vesha Shire Sikhi Pakha. All the associates of Lord Nityananda were formerly cowherd boys in Brajabhumi. Their symbolic representations were the horns, the sticks they carried, their cowherd dress, and the peacock plumes on their heads. Just see. And there's a purport here. Anyway, I'll read it, it's here. Janava Mata is also within the list of Lord Nityananda's followers. She is described in the Gora Ganodesh Deepika, verse 66, as Ananga Manjari of Vrindavan. All the devotees who are followers of Janava Mata are counted within the list of Sri Nityananda Prabhu's devotees. Okay, well, I'm not sure. It must have come in Srila Prabhupada's mind, presumably. I'm not sure, to say it, I was wondering why that was here in this place. But there we are, we learned. Next verse is verse 22. The physician Raghunath, also known as Upadhyaya, was so great a devotee that simply seeing him would awaken one's dormant love of Godhead. That's a pretty good doctor. Then Sundarananda. Sundarananda, another branch of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, was Lord Nityananda's most intimate servant Lord Nityananda Prabhu perceived the life of Braja Bhumi in his company. So that in Bengali. Sundarananda Nityanandera Shaka, so Shaka we got yesterday again and again, branch, Bhritya Marma, very intimate servant. Jara Sange Nityananda Kore Braja Narma. Narma, activities. Braja Narma. With a R and a short A, Narma. Then Kamalakara Pippalai. What's your name? My name's Kamalakara Pippalai. Is said to have been the third Gopal. His behavior and love of Godhead were uncommon. His behavior and love of Godhead were uncommon. And thus he is celebrated all over the world. Here we are in London. And the verse, Kamalakara Pippalai, Alaukika, again this Alaukika, extraordinary. Alaukika Rita, behavior. And Alaukika again, Alaukika Prema Tara Bhuvane Vidita. Vidita celebrated. There. Now Surya Dasa Sarakela. So Surya Das Sarakela and his younger brother Krishna Das Sarakela both possessed firm faith in Nityananda Prabhu. They were a reservoir of love of Godhead. Okay? So in Bengali, Surya Dasa Sarakela, Tara Bhai Krishna Dasa, Nityanande Dridha Vishvasa, Premira Nivasa. Then Bengali first for the next verse. Gauridasa Pandita Jara Premodanda Bhakti Krishna Prema Dite Nite Dhure Mahashakti. Krishna Prema Dite Nite, not Dhure, Dhare Mahashakti. Gauridas Pandit, the emblem of the most elevated devotional service in love of Godhead, has the greatest potency to receive and deliver such love. Acha. Krishna Prema Dite Nite Dhare Mahashakti. Great potency. And this was Gauridas Pandit's appearance day recently, right? Or disappearance day, or appearance day, I think, on Rupa Goswami's disappearance day. Was Gauridas's disappearance or appearance? Maybe, but we were remembering him, and here there's a wonderful purport here. Every purport's wonderful, but here's something. Shall I read the purport? Well, some of it, I'm going to read some of it because I'll tell you in a moment. It is said that, so purport by Śrīla Prabhupada, Śrīla A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. It is said that Gauridas Pandit was always patronized by King Krishnadas, the son of Harihora. Gauridas Pandit lived in the village of Shaligrama, which is situated a few miles from the railway station Muragacha. This must be a different Gauridas Pandit, because Gauridas Pandit that we were celebrating the other days from Ambika Kalna, on the way to Calcutta on the west side of the Ganges. If you drive down the west side of the Ganges on the road, you'll come to Ambika Kalna. And so this is a different Gauridas Pandit. Oh, no, I should finish the sentence. I shall finish the sentence. Erase that part of the tape if you're recording it. Okay, it is said that Gauridas Pandit was always patronized by King Krishnadas, the son of Harihora. Gauridas Pandit lived in the village of Shaligrama, which is situated a few miles from the railway station Muragacha, and later he came to reside in Yes, Ambika Kalna. Ambika Kalna. It is stated in the Gora Ganodesh Deepika, verse 128, that formerly he was Subala, one of the cowherd boyfriends of Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan. Gauridas Pandit was the younger brother of Suryadas Sarakela, and with the permission of his elder brother, he shifted his residence to the banks of the Ganges, living there in the town known as Ambika Kalana. Some of the names of the descendants of Gauridas Pandit are as follows. This is the bit I'm going to miss out reading. There follows 22 and a half, you're my witness, 22 and a half names of his descendants. It's exactly here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you know all of those names. Then 22. Well, right. 22, Raya Krishnadas. And 22 and a half, Annapurna. Okay, now I'll keep reading because we may get an explanation about the half. The eldest son of Gauridas Pandit was known as Big Balaram. And the youngest was known as Raghunath. No breakfast for you this morning. The sons, because there's no breakfast for anyone, we're fasting. Okay, the sons of Raghunath were Mahesh Pandit and Govinda. Gauridas Pandit's daughter was known as Annapurna. This is why she's a half. The village Ambika Kalna, which is situated just across the river Ganges from Shantipur, is 2 miles east of the Caitanya-caritāmṛta railway station on the Eastern Railway. In Ambika Kalna there is a temple constructed by the Zamindar of Burdwan. In front of the temple there is a big tamarind tree, and it is said that Gauridas Pandit and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met underneath this tree. The place where the temple is situated is known as Ambika, and because it is in the area of Kalana, the village is known as Ambika Kalana. It is said that a copy of Bhagavad Gita written by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu still exists in this temple. And remember, these purports, they're based on Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary, Annubhasya commentary on Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Well, there we are. So that is the end of the purport. Next verse, text 27. Nityanande samarpila jatikula panti. Jati, kula, panti, fellowship. Jati, caste distinction. Kula, family. Panti, fellowship. Okay, making Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda the lords of his life, Gauridas Pandit sacrificed everything for the service of Lord Nityananda, even the fellowship of his own family. Okay. Nityanande samarpila jati kula panti. Sri Chaitanya Nityanande kore pranapati. Pranapati. The lords of his life. Next verse. Nityananda Prabhura Priya Pandita Purandara. You've probably got that one. Premanava Madhye Fire Jaichana Mandara. The next important, or another important devotee of Sri Nityananda Prabhu was Pandit Purandara, who moved in the ocean of love of Godhead, just like the Mandara hill. Premanava Madhye Fire Jayachana Mandara. Parameshvara Dasa, Nityanandaika Sharana, Krishna Bhakti Paya, Thare Jay Kore Smarana. Parameshvara Das, said to be said to be the fifth Gopal of Krishna-līlā, completely surrendered to the lotus feet of Nityananda. Anyone who remembers his name, Parameshvara Das, will get love of Krishna very easily. Remember whose name?
Parameshvara Das.
Whose name?
Parameshvara Das.
Parameshvara Das.
Okay, you will get love of Krishna very easily. Jagadisha Pandit Hoya Jagat Pavan. Okay, Jagadisha Pandit Hoya Jagat Pavan. Krishna Premamrita Vashe Jaina Vasha Ghana. Jagadish Pandit, another branch of Lord Nityananda's followers, was the deliverer of the entire world. Devotional love of Krishna showered from him like torrents of rain. Jagat Pavan. Krishna Prema Amrita Vashe. The Vasha, the rainy season. So Krishna Prema Amrita. Krishna Prema Amrita Vashe. Jaina like Varsha, rainfall, Gana, heavy. Hare Krishna, Nityananda, Priyabhritya, Pandita Dhananjaya, Atyanta Virakta, Sada Krishna Premamaya. Another dear servant of Nityananda Prabhu was Dhananjaya Pandit. He was very much renounced and always merged in love of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, all glories to the devotees. Mahesha Pandit, the seventh of the 12 Gopals of Krishna-līlā, was very liberal. In great love of Krishna, he danced to the beating of the kettle drum like a madman. And every purport is wonderful. I mean, every purport, and they're not always purports, but they're always giving something extra about the devotee. I mean, the village of Mahesh Pandit, which is known as Palapara, is situated in the district of Nadia, within a forest about 1 mile south of the Chakada, which I know, railway station. I know that railway station. The Ganges flows nearby, that I know too. It is said that formerly Mahesh Pandit lived on the eastern side of Jirat, in the village known as Masipura or Jashipura. And when Masipura merged in the riverbed of the Ganges, the deities were brought to Palapara, which is situated in the midst of various villages, such as Beledanga, Berigrama, Sukasagara, Chandure, and Mansapota. Then in brackets, there are about 14 villages, and the entire neighborhood is known as Panchanagara Paragana. Just 2 more sentences. It is mentioned that Mahesh Pandit joined the festival performed by Sri Nityananda Prabhu at Panihati, the chip rice festival. Narottam Das Thakur also joined in the festival, and Mahesh Pandit saw him on that occasion. In the temple of Mahesh Pandit, there are deities of Gaura Nityananda, Sri Gopinath, Sri Madana Mohan, and Radha Govinda, as well as a Shalagram Śrīla. I mean, so much detail in the purports, and coming from Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But this Chakada place, it is on the other side of the river Ganges from Ambika Kalna, which we were mentioning just now, and it's further down, and so it's further towards Calcutta, further downstream, and there are various things there in Chakada. But it is close to the Ganges, and there's another temple there. There's a crossroad. When you go down, there's a small crossroads. If you go into Calcutta and turn right, there's also a famous temple of Lord Jagannath, who came himself on his way to Navadip, but he decided to stay there And when I was there, which was many years ago, and I went there to drive somebody, Gurudev told me, this one sadhu came and said, and I don't know what the reason, I don't have to know the reason. Gurudev asked me to take him to that temple, which is where he was going. So I drove him there to the temple. And there Jagannath, who was very big, the original, one of the bodies of Jagannath, as it were, because he changes his body every few years in Jagannath Puri. 12 years. And so anyhow, there's a whole Leela, but Jagannath came there. So there's a large Jagannath in quite a small temple on the banks of the Ganges. I don't know now, they may have made a very small, humble temple, but that is there near Chakada. And Chakada, other things too in Chakada. Anyway, we're only, we managed another few verses. And so we have to stop somewhere. And this is the glories of the devotees. We're getting through. It's the glories of the devotees. So we stop here today in Chakada. And I broke down on the motorcycle once in Chakada on the way back. But the motorcycle never fully let me down. And I was able to get the spare part and continue.
May I ask a question?
You may. I do not know if I can answer it, but
In the 80s and the 90s, when you would need to go to a temple in a remote village, would these places be on a map, or would you actually have to discover them through speaking to the villagers?
Oh yes, I never ever had a map in Bengal, and we never had. We think these have been eternal, but we didn't have any of this until much later, after Gurudev disappears. Actually, all of this came in our life. And maybe 2 years after, or was the first time I ever had a phone, and maybe it's 3 years after that we had, like a modern phone, then it's 3 years after, then discovered the GPS thing, I was trying to find one devotee's address in Calcutta, in the suburbs, and honestly, and I was in a taxi, we're trying to find the address of his place. The street names, kind of the half a street is one name, half a street is another name, and the numbers, they're just kind of random, picked out of a box and put on houses, and on both sides of the road, and really trying to find. And then but I had his phone, and I said, Prabhu, I'm trying to find your house. Where is it? And he said, just type the address into Google, or into Google Maps or something. And I just didn't believe him. I said, okay, I'll try. But I had no faith, but even with no faith, I was surprised. We got straight there to the door. And so, even that's kind of an example that we hear, especially from Śrīla Prabhupada. Even if we know nothing at all, if we hear the Maha Mantra, it's going to have some effect on us. All these things. So, even with no faith that fire is hot, you put your hand in the fire, you're going to find it's hot. I don't believe it's hot. You believe it or not, put your hand in there. Okay, I believe. So this way, how did we get onto the mobile phone? We had you're asking if we had maps. No, we'd ask. And in that case, Gurudev told me, you go to Chakda, you turn left. And then we only have to find out which of these villages is Chakda. As we're going up the road. But off the record, if you really want to get directions to somewhere, ask Tirtha Maharaj. Bless him. Tirtha Maharaj, we love him, everything. But to ask directions from him. We're in Calcutta, or anywhere, you ask him directions, and he said, yes. You just go up there and you turn left. You'll find it. Just go. And then, and after some time, you do have to take a right turn, and then another turn. But so funny, But that's from somebody who doesn't drive, and so doesn't really have to find out how to go. But villages, we'd find out from the villages. And quite unrelated to this, but the idea of having a map. we actually had an adventure one time, and it was with devotee Vijay Krishna Guru from Singapore, and he wanted to do something, and he said, let's, is this something we can do? And I said, well, if you are up for it, I'll tell you what is quietly in our mind, that we know that all holy places are in Mathura Mandal. So the later time when I was in Vrindavan, then we also hear that Badrik Ashram, Gangotri, Jamunotri, and where Shiva is in the Himalayas, Kedarnath. Then those, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Gangotri and Jamunotri, all those four which are known as Chardam, they're in Mathura Mandal. And we've heard that they are there. And then I got, from around the corner at the festival time, somebody was selling maps. Like these kind of funky maps. They're not really, they're kind of funky maps. But they got the names of all the places. And I saw on the map, and I thought, I get this map. And it's the map of like the whole area. And I saw the names of the places. Then, you remember we had that driver or the places for the taxis. He was always very helpful, and we always told him, you've got to give us drivers who take care. We are Westerners. We don't trust in God as much as everybody does here. And so, he took care of us and said, can you please arrange a local driver? Is there a local driver who knows this place? Yes. I got just the person. He's lived here all his life. He comes from the villages. He knows where these places are. So he arranged this driver. This driver did not know where the places were. We were stopping like all the while. But he actually, to be fair to him, they're not usual places that people go to. They're kind of off the map, which was very happy for us actually. We went to all those four places. And the last one was Kedarnath. And you can't drive everywhere. You can only drive so far. And then, right up this hill in the scorching heat to the Kedarnath temple, which is understood to be like the Kedarnath temple within Mathura Mandal. But he was a local man, but without him we would have never found those places, because he was asking all the while. But the people, everybody is kind of very friendly, and they're used to being asked, I suppose. Yeah, so no maps. And, if only we were saying this, Shrutida, that you can remember everything you hear. With Gurudev, we went, at one time we had basically, there's still no doubt you can do it, but the roads improved. The main road to Calcutta was like super bad. Janardamar said, these potholes, they should be named. They should have a name, like they have hurricanes and typhoons. They give them names. And we're going on, you drive in and you drive around them and then you drive out. And it was very dramatic. But in the village roads, because the roads get chewed up, well, they're not made properly. Like if you make a building, you need a foundation and, you need things like that. But the roads are just basically laid down on what was there before. And so they break up every monsoon season on the main road due to the really heavy trucks and, overloaded and all these things. So, but on the village roads, they're generally a little, better. Different kinds of bumps, at least. Bumpy. And so we had another way to go through the villages. And we'd go through the villages, and Gurudev was the guide, because he's there. And if only I could really know, Gurudev would point out some places of, devotees of the Caitanya-caritāmṛta and the Līlā. But, I'm afraid he was talking to, a sponge rather than a human. A sponge with holes in that they kind of fall out. So, but Gurudev did, he would sometimes be quite chatty in the car, but generally, if he wants to chat, he can chat, but generally, he wants not to be disturbed in the car. He's in the car, he'll sit. And he can't get out of the car if people are, questioning him this, questioning him that, and Gurudev sitting there in the car. And he's always thinking of it. And he said, I'm always thinking. Because he's got a reason why he's going somewhere. I'm thinking about my service. How will I do this? Things like this. And Gurudev would chant japa in the car. Which I actually thought was because he felt peaceful. But somebody else said, it's because of your driving. But I actually thought he felt at home. They didn't say that in a bad way. They said, oh, I see Gurudev chanting japa in the car. Oh, you're driving. Anyhow.
Very rare to see Gurudev. He would have... As far as I understood, it was quite rare, like he would do that a little bit hiding, so he must have felt very comfortable in that.
Well, that was my version, but depends on whose purports you read after. No, we used to drive Gurudev very carefully. Very carefully. And I used to drive Gurudev how we are taught to drive in driving school and to drive a truck. When you are taught to drive a truck, you will not pass your test if you drive like this. You've got to have two hands on the wheel, and as soon as you change gear, your hand goes back on the wheel. You're always alert for what's taking place. And I used to try to drive as though you were on your driving test, that actually you're doing everything properly. Because there's a reason why. And we have very good evidence. We've been in situations where, India, there's less things, but bits fall off trucks. Giant things came off it with Krishna Chandra from New Zealand, who's British, now in New Zealand. We were going up on the motorcycle, and the transmission shaft, which is one heavy chunk of metal, comes spinning down the road. You've got to be ready for anything. And it just, comes off. You only have, like 2 seconds to think what's going to happen. If you're driving like this, you don't have much chance. You've got to be there and ready. And so many, like children run out. Children run across the road. I've had that happen. Like they're afraid to cross, and then they just think, run, without looking. It's stuff. And what to speak of goats and dogs and everything else. But anyway, that's another story, isn't it?
Swami Maharaj Śrīla Prabhupada says, in the material world, every step is dangerous.
Yes. And especially in India we see it. And there are so many accidents. So many accidents. I think we can say practically 98% of early morning going to Calcutta, there's at least one substantial accident on that road, 100-kilometer stretch of road. Like substantial. And sometimes one after the other. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj also died on that road. Hare Krishna. Oh dear. Anyway, devotees. Well, later today we can continue also. We are saying, yes, in Navadip they read Caitanya-caritāmṛta. But if you've got devotees, we want to be reading some things which are going to be on our theme of Janmashtami. Yeah, we have the Krishna book also. And we have from Śrīla Guru Maharaj and Śrīla Gurudev, no doubt things. Things are on the website today, there's audio. Maybe we have a different boom box. Maybe somebody's got some loudspeaker which doesn't give that super bass. It's difficult.
Nita just got a whole bunch of really good audio things for the kirtan, so
maybe.
You can set something up.
This loudspeaker is definitely loud, but it itself adds like extreme bass because it's meant for the Notting Hill Carnival, something like that. It's not meant for speech. Anyway, dear devotees, now we're over time, but if you could help with a loudspeaker, even the tablet does pretty well when we're just us together, but a bit louder is good. And we'll continue the day. So let's have Hari Harai Nama Krishna from the first volunteer.
Just before, do you mind, Maharaj, if we remind the people watching?
If we do what?
If we remind people online of the program later that...
Oh yes. So some may have joined. We mentioned at the beginning that we're in the West London Temple. Today, by the traditional calendar as calculated by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Śrīla Guru Maharaj, Śrīla Gurudev, following this style, the Janmashtami is today. And so we're following that. And the program here is fasting until midnight and then no grains. And the program here is that the devotees will start a program at 5 o'clock, even though all day something will be going on gently. So here 5 p.m. onwards and 7:30 will be the evening arti corresponding to midnight in India, I am told. And then, but in East London, the program will be running throughout the evening and will be culminating in the midnight offerings and arati. So in East London Temple of Caitanya-caritāmṛta, 466 Green Street, there will be a very late program. All are welcome. And here, not so late program, all are welcome. Here 5 p.m. beginning. In East London, I don't know what time beginning, but you can consider it must be 7. I mean, it's an evening program onwards. And wherever you are, try to chant the holy names of the Lord more. Try to remember the merciful advent of Krishna to show the sweetness of our home. And then try to put our good opportunity of this human life into proper use by following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's guidance, so we may actually gain entrance and not just watch it, not just see the Lord's Leela, but be allowed, be recruited to come and participate in his Leela. And this is the great fortune of this age. Krishna appeared, Mahaprabhu appeared, Nityananda appeared, and the great souls have appeared since then. Śrīla Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And from Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Mahaprabhu's clear message again broadcast, and broadcast even more widely all over the world, as we are evidence here from all sorts of countries right here with us, seated in West London. But now Hari Harai Nama Krishna, from the first volunteer to put up a hand. Rasamai Pandita.
Hari Harai Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Harai Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusūdan.
Nityananda Siyadeta Chandra Gadadhara Sivasari Sora Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatara Guna Asi Shiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Guna Jai Gosai Gori Tarana Bandhana Jai Te Vijnana Sabita Pura Jai Gosai Jamui Tarata Sabara Padarini Mora Panchada Atade Charana Shebi Bhakta Shaneba O Janame Janame Mo Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Gauranga Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhari Ju Ki Jai Jai Śrīla Gurudev Ki Jai Jai Śrīla Guru Mahārāja Ki Jai Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Most auspicious advent of Shri Krishna Janmashtami Ki Jai. Śrīla Bhakti Ranjan Madhusūdan Mahārāja Ki Jai. All the devotees, tutti devoti Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari 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 Bol.